Dear students, welcome to this new video tutorial of our programming series, that is web programming using ASP.NET. So students, in this particular video tutorial, we are going to see an exciting concept of ASP.NET state management. Yes, we are into our state management series. So we have seen the concept, we have seen the basic theory, we have seen advantages, disadvantages, and we have also seen real world applications of QueryString. If you have not seen that particular video, you can click the I button above or link is given in the description box. Now we will quickly switch back to our IDE where this particular topic will be illustrated by programming way. So now let's quickly go to IDE. So we are into our IDE, which is Visual Studio. We have single static data and sending multiple static data. Then what was the third part? The third part was to send single dynamic data. So now we are not sending any static data. So I am giving you a caption over here that enter name, and then after I will be having my text box. User will enter the data in text box, and then after the dynamic data which user has entered will be sent on another page, right? So I'll go in the toolbox, I'll go for text box, the ID let us say txt underscore name, right? So this is your URL. Well, we are having enter name as a caption, then we are having a text box, and we are having a button, right? So we are already having a click event, so we modify that click event only, and this thing will be same, but this thing will be changed. So now I'll say key1 is equals to, or let us say a realistic name. As I'm sending a name, I will have my key value as name is equals to, the data has to be fetched from which control? It has to be fetched from text box, right? Now what will be the value? The value will be ID, that is txt underscore name dot text dot trim, right? Now what is this trim function? Trim function will trim out white spaces before and after the first and last character, right? So if I am using trim function, all the white spaces which are the extra white spaces before the first character of any text and after the last character of any text, all these extra white spaces will be trimmed out. We can totally omit that as well. So we have given this dynamic data where we have given txt underscore name dot text dot trim, right? And as we are sending a single data, I will be having comment on LBL data too, because we do not need that. Apart from that, the key name over here is name, so that key name will be replaced over here like this. Now we will have our sender page to be running and executed. So as soon as it gets executed, now we will be having enter name. So I will be entering ASP.NET, let us say only ASP.NET, right? And I'll click on this button. I will having a data. What data it is showing? It is showing txt underscore name dot text dot trim, the code that we have done. It is showing that data over here as well. That has been deliberately done by me, but why? To make you understand that anything written within the double quotes, right, is string. So we cannot just write down over here that we were doing in our static data. So now my string will be ended over here, then after I will append that code. So txt underscore name dot text dot trim, right? And it is giving me an error, so I will just quickly check this URL, or let us say ID. The ID is same, still it is giving me an error. This can be done many a times in Studio, that is not our fault, not our error. So what we will do, we will quickly close all these pages, then we will open QS sender again, and then after we will go to the code, right? So now I will open the VB code as well, and as you can see the error has been solved. Sometimes it takes time for Visual Studio to recognize that our ID has been changed, right? Now we will run this page. So as soon as I am running this page, I will be having the same UI. As of now, I am entering ASP.NET and I am sending the data. So now the dynamic data which user has entered, which was the ASP.NET, has been printed over here. For example, I am sending 5. So this 5 is nothing but my dynamic data which has been printed over here, as you can see. So that was how we can send single static data, single multiple data, and then after in this last example we have seen how to send single dynamic data. Now we are upgrading this practical and I am entering multiple values, right? So after enter name, I'll copy it and paste it over here. Let us say enter branch, right? The text box ID will be txt underscore branch, and then after we will again copy this and paste it over here. So your UI will look like this, where we are having two options or two text boxes, one for name and one for the branch of the subject, and I am sending the query string data. So now what I will do, I will have to append multiple things. So that will be tricky. So what we are doing is, we are having a shortcut, right? What was the syntax of sending multiple static data? So the syntax of sending multiple data was like this: name is equals to, let us say, ASP.NET, then we were using ampersand to multiply or to add multiple datas, and let us say branch is equals to IT, right, where ASP.NET is a static data and IT is a static data. But now we don't want static data. So what I'll do, I will just put double quotes and then after I will put double plus. So double plus in double quotes in place of static data. Similarly, double quotes and double plus in place of static data. Now over here we will append txt name, right? This thing is of no use, so we are deleting it. And over here I will write txt branch dot text dot trim, right? So this way we can do. Got it? Again I am illustrating this. So I will write response dot redirect in the bracket URL question mark, and we don't know how to break the string and append it with dynamic data. So I am giving any garbage data for key 1, I am placing ampersand, then I am giving key 2 which is the branch and any garbage data, right? Now this static data has to be selected as I have selected over here. I will put double quotes, I'll go in double quotes and then I'll put double plus. Same thing for here as well, double quotes, in the double quotes double plus, and then after we will write our data which is in the txt name dot text dot trim, as well as for branch it will be in the txt branch dot text dot trim, right? So now we will run this data and we will try to execute this page. So enter name ASP.NET, and if I talk about branch, it is IT. I'll send this data. It is giving me only one option. The data is there in the query string, but it is giving me only one option. Why? Because we are having only one label over here. We have commented the second label. So I'll uncomment it and I'll put branch over here, right? Now if I reload this page, I will be having error because that data was not reached over here. Done. So we will quickly see the branch, but branch is having a white space over here, you see. That's why we were having an error. Now we will have this particular thing ready. So these are the things I am deliberately giving you with errors, so you can have this particular thing sorted out, that you should not make this kind of error. Now I will write ASP.NET and branch will be IT. So this data, which is a dynamic data, has been sent over here and has been printed over here, right? So in this particular tutorial, we have seen all four basic concept of query string. The real life application of search module has been already illustrated to you in tutorial part or theory part. So what we have seen, that I will list over here. We have seen sending single static data, then after I'll just do the basic copy pasting, right? Then after we have seen sending multiple dynamic data or static data, then over here let us have dynamic data and multiple dynamic data, right? So these four concepts were illustrated over here, and the last concept was sending multiple dynamic data. So using this, we do not need this. Let me first clear this out, right? So we do not need to have static data, cause in real life or real world applications of project making or website development, we will be sending and receiving dynamic data, or we will be sending and fetching dynamic data. So this way your string will be ended. You will concat this thing, then you will concat ampersand and then remaining thing. Now one thing, if you can see over here, this plus is of no use, so I can remove this as well, right? Now we will run this page again and we will see what happens, right? So we are running this page again and again. These are the nothing but the thing we have just listed over here, so it was as a part, right? So it works well without having that last double quotes. Done. So this is it for this practical part. I'll try to give you one example or practice program which you should perform by your own to learn this concept thoroughly with yourself. So we are ending this particular part of illustrating the program in our IDE, and we will switch back to our normal things. So I hope you have thoroughly understood this particular topic of query string. Let's give a quick recap of what we have learned in this particular tutorial. So we have seen the basic concept of query string, where we can send data from one page to another page. There is no way through which we can send data from one page to another page without using state management concept, right? So using query string, which is a state management concept, we can send data from page 1 or A to page 2, or let us say page B, right? We have seen how to send static single value, how to send static multiple values. We have seen how to send dynamic values. As our example was illustrated, we have fetched the data from text box, right? So that is a dynamic value depending upon user input. So how to send a single dynamic value, how to send multiple dynamic values, that we have seen in this particular topic. Apart from this, in our theory portion of query string, we have seen advantages, disadvantages and all these things. So this is it for today's video of learning, but we are not ending this tutorial as of now. Now we will see some MOOC questions or brain twisters that can be useful for preparation of this topic, for preparation of your examination, as well as preparation of your interview. So this can be considered as interview questions as well. So the questions has been listed over here already. So the question is, what is query string? Your next question is, what is the scope of query string? How many values a query string can store? Which type of state management query string is, right? What are the advantages of query string? What are the disadvantages of query string? And I am giving you one practical. I hope you will perform that practical by your own. So we are having a text box, with the caption name where user will enter name as listed. Then after we are having a gender. We in the particular video we have seen two text boxes. Now I am giving you a practical or practice paper where we will see another control. So we are having a name, we are having a radio button for gender, that is male and female. Now while clicking on submit button, your data has to be printed on the landing page or destination page depending upon user has entered its name and selected his or her gender. So that is one practical as well as some listed questions of mood question I can say that has been done in this particular tutorial. So we are ending this tutorial. I hope you will like this video. Thank you for watching this video. Like my video, share the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.